stop. Before you take your next bite. Before you drink that healthy drink. Before you repeat what you did yesterday. I want you to pause. Think about your day. Not what you believe is healthy, what you actually do every single day. Because what I'm about to tell you, most people never question, and that's exactly why it becomes a problem. Here's the truth. Millions of people are trying to be healthy and still slowly making their body worse. Not with junk food, not with obvious bad habits, but with things they are convinced are good for them. And the most dangerous part? They feel proud of it. They feel disciplined. They feel like they're in control. But their body is telling a different story, and most people don't hear it. Most people don't even know it's happening. After years of observing patterns, I can tell you something clearly. The biggest health mistakes don't always come from doing something wrong. They come from doing something right, the wrong way, every day. Let that sink in, because this is where it starts to matter. If you want to actually understand your body, not just follow rules, stay with me, because this is the kind of awareness people usually realize too late. Now imagine this. You wake up in the morning. You feel motivated. You tell yourself, today I'm going to be healthy. You go to the kitchen. You prepare something clean, something light, something you've seen recommended. You feel good about it. You feel like you've already won the day. Then your routine continues. You avoid junk food. You choose better options. You snack on things you believe are healthy. You drink something you think is good for you. You repeat this pattern all day. And by the end of the day, you expect to feel better, more energy, more clarity, more control. But instead, you feel slightly tired, not exhausted, just off. You feel a little heavy, not uncomfortable enough to complain, but enough to notice. Your focus isn't sharp. Your body doesn't feel fully right. And this is where confusion begins, because in your mind, you did everything right. But your body is reacting differently. Pause for a second. Think about your own routine. Have you ever felt this? That small disconnect? That feeling that something is not fully working, even when you're trying? That is not random. That is not just a bad day. That is feedback. And most people ignore it. This is not what you think. It's not about healthy versus unhealthy. It's not about clean versus dirty food. And it's definitely not about willpower. Your body doesn't care about labels. It responds to patterns. Let me say that again. Your body responds to patterns, not intentions, not trends, patterns. And this is where most people get it wrong. They focus on what something is called, instead of how their body reacts to it. They think, if it's healthy, I can do more of it. If it works for someone else, it will work for me. If I feel okay, everything is fine. But here's the truth. None of that is reliable, because your body is not reacting to the label. It's reacting to the load, to the timing, to the repetition. Let me explain this in a simple way. Think of your body like a system that needs balance, not extremes, not perfection, balance. Now imagine this. Even something good, if repeated too often, at the wrong time, in the wrong amount, starts creating pressure. Let's take something simple. Water. Water is good. Your body needs it. But if you drink too much at once, your body doesn't use it properly. It creates imbalance. Same with sunlight. You need it, but too much exposure starts causing damage. So here's the point. Good things are only good when they are used correctly. Most people don't know this. They think healthy means unlimited, but that's not how your body works. Now let's go deeper. Why does this actually happen? Because your body is always trying to stay in balance, and every time you repeat something, your body adjusts to it. At first, you don't notice anything. Then, you start feeling small changes, low energy, heaviness, slight discomfort. Nothing extreme, but not optimal. And over time, that becomes your normal. And this is where it gets serious. Because once something feels normal, you stop questioning it. You stop fixing it. You just accept it. And that's how imbalance builds. Slowly, quietly, without resistance. Let me tell you something important. I've seen people who were doing everything right and still didn't feel right. And I've seen people make small adjustments and suddenly their body responded differently. More stable energy, better clarity, less discomfort. Because the difference was not effort, it was understanding. Now think about your habits again. Not one day. Your pattern. What do you repeat? What do you do daily without thinking? Because that's what shapes your body, not occasional actions, daily patterns. And most people never analyze this. They just follow, repeat, assume. Here's another layer most people miss. Your body gives signals early, very early, but they are subtle. Fatigue, slight heaviness, small drops in focus, mild discomfort. These are not random. They are communication, but most people ignore them because they are not loud. They wait for something big, something obvious. But by the time it becomes obvious, it's no longer early. This is where it gets serious because small mistakes, repeated daily, create long-term impact. Not instantly, not dramatically, but consistently. And consistency always wins, whether it's good or bad. So what can you actually do? Not something complicated, not something extreme, something simple, but powerful. First, stop trusting labels blindly. Healthy is not universal. What works for someone else may not work for you. Second, pay attention to timing. When you eat, when you drink, when you rest. Your body follows rhythm. If you ignore that, you create imbalance. Third, reduce repetition. Even good habits need variation. Doing the same thing every day removes balance. Fourth, observe your body, not occasionally, daily. How do you feel after eating? After drinking? After your routine? That matters more than any label. Fifth, listen to small signals before they become big ones. Because your body always speaks early. You just have to notice. And one more thing. This is very important. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to become perfect. You just need to adjust. Small changes. Consistent awareness. That's what creates real improvement. Now let me calm you down. If you've been doing things that don't feel right, it does not mean something is wrong with you. It means something needs adjustment. And that's normal. Your body is not broken. It's responsive. It adapts. It improves when you understand it. Most people never question their healthy habits. They just follow. They just repeat. They just assume. You didn't. You stopped. You thought. You questioned. And that puts you ahead. Because real health does not come from effort alone. It comes from awareness. If this made you rethink something simple, stay with me, because I'll keep showing you what most people miss. And share this with someone who thinks they're doing everything right, but still doesn't feel right. Because sometimes the habits that look the healthiest are the ones quietly working against you.